Welcome back. This is stage 3, London Classic Reverse. This is my third and fourth try. I put them in one video. You'll see why I put them in one video. But with that being said, I want to also say thank you to all my subscribers, all my people who leave comments, and all the likes. Look, I'm still trying to get a video to 100 likes. I haven't reached it yet. But like somebody said one time, if everybody just click one time on the video with the views I'm getting, I'll get 100 likes in the video. So if you like any of my content, which I'm trying to get a little bit better at, I'm trying to make it more of a relatable feel, especially with this one being a little longer. You know I like my videos only about 15 to 16 minutes long. This one running about 20-something minutes, so I'm trying to make it a little bit more entertaining. Hey, leave it in the comments if you like what I'm doing. If you like this, giving suggestions to what I'm doing. Hey, I like the suggestions y'all give me about racing. I try to implement them into what I'm doing. So I want to say thank you to all my subscribers. I'm up to about 258 of them. I only need 42 or 43 of them to get me to 300 by the end of this month. Come on. If you like anything about me and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button for me, please. Thanks. Help support a little guy trying to make it along the way. And, well, I'm a big guy trying to become a little guy. Let's go with that. Now, with that being said, I did stage 3. Let me give you a clue what's going on. So I do team time trials when I'm home on Thursday nights with my team. I'm with the Z Sons are. And when I ever have a chance, you know, we get on them bikes and it's a team time trial. So you race the TT bikes on there. So we got on that race and we did that. I think we did the race at 7 o'clock Thursday night. So I knew that I was going to be getting up that morning at 5:10 and racing the stage races. So I was going to go ahead and get that done. With that said, because of what was going on, and you're going to understand what's going on in this video, we're going to go ahead and get started. With that, we're off. And with this race, like I said, I had just did the team time trials the night before, so I was excited about doing that. And I got up this morning, and I was just all amped up. I was like, man, let me get to doing this. I'm going to be riding this race. And I got to admit, man, it wasn't really a bad race. I was doing good. I was trying to implement the idea of staying close to everybody. And I was looking at my draft numbers, and you see they doing pretty decent, but they're not, you know, and it's nothing really wrong right here. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm doing great. I'm feeling great. The race is going along. I'm really trying to implement everything that I've been told. Stay back behind. And somebody asked me about the idea about me always being in front. I can't remember the exact name. Oh, also on this race, I want to give a shout out to Emily C. Hey, Emily, you gave me some comments, and I want to give you a shout out because I know you was in this race, and you was like, hey, Mom. So I want to say it for you, Emily. She said to her mom, hey, there you go. So with this race, we're taking off on this thing, and I'm doing pretty good. You can see it. I'm riding well. I'm feeling good. And I'm not thinking about nothing about I'm doing the calculations in my head about what I need to do and where I want to be at the end of this race. I'm even heading, when we come down through here, we're going to make a right. And when we make that right, I'm even going to hit this hill at the right pace. That's how good I was thinking about this race. I don't know, maybe the race the night before. I did it, when I run with the time trials, I run with the D's. So it's not really pushing me. So when we make this turn right here, I know to accelerate because there's a hill, look at the climb. Look at where I'm at in the pack. I'm not letting them lead. I am doing really good. You can see, watch, as we come over this, we have 14 kilometers left in this race. You can see it up at the top right there. I am feeling great. Look, I'm coming back out in front of everybody. I'm pulling back up on them. I'm not looking at my heart rate. It's coming back down. I'm feeling good. I gotta admit, I'm feeling really great about what's going on. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't have long. I got the guy right here in front of me in a second, so I catch up to him. And I said, well, what I'm gonna do, because I was going so fast to catch him, I kind of flew past him. But I knew, I was thinking in my head, I'm gonna get to the end of this race. And at 2.4 kilometers, when I was gonna take off on this thing. So I'm thinking about, okay, I got that going running in my head. I got the idea where I'm headed at. So I'm feeling real good, and I'm thinking about, okay, we got this tarmac coming up right here. We're on here, and I'm looking at the people behind me, and I'm like trying to let them catch. I'm actually trying to slow down until they catch up, and I'm looking at them, and they slowly catching up to me. And as they catch up to me, I get right there in the pack with them, and I'm feeling great. And I'm thinking, okay, cool. Now, if you look online, you won't see this race. You'll understand why in a minute. So as as we come around this, we coming around here. I'm thinking to myself, we almost halfway through this thing, and I started noticing something. I really did. I started noticing something. I'm riding, and I'm thinking to myself, and I remember I did the team time trials last night, and I got up this morning, and I'm looking at everybody else's bike, and I realized I'm not on my Tron bike. I start realizing I'm not on my Tron bike. And what? No big deal. But the thing is, I'm in a regular race,
No,
and I'm still on a
God.
TT bike.
No, God, please, no, no, no.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going, okay, cool, that's fine. Let's just keep going. Let's race this race out. I'm fine. I'm on a TT bike. It's not gonna hurt nothing. I'm just gonna catch up to them, and I'm just gonna race them. You know, it doesn't matter. I don't have, I love my Tron bike, but I'm not on it, so who cares? I'm just gonna win this race. That's what I'm thinking to myself. This is not gonna be a hard race to win. Whatever bike I want, I'm just gonna power through this thing. And then it hit me. I remember the rules about getting disqualified if you're not on the right bike, and I was like,
No.
I'm like, oh man, okay, let's just head over to the next race. Come back. Now we're on the 4th attempt of this race, man. So you see what happened on that last one, man. And if you look in the rules, they actually said we want Zwift Power, no TT bikes. So I would have got disqualified, and I don't need that on me. I had that issue back in January. I don't need no more of that kind of stuff on me. So I was just like, you know what? Just get rid of it. We'll call it a day. I could have left it in there, which I wish I had, because I lost the mileage, even though it was only like 5 or 6 miles. Every mile count towards Zwift. For me, I'm on that second one. I'm trying to get to 750 miles in. I don't know what achievement you get for that, but I'm on that second challenge because I got the Tron bike. So, I should have left in there just for the mileage. But like I said, I didn't want that heat on me about DQ on the Zwift Power, so I just called it a day. With that going on, now we're on the 2nd attempt. So I'm on the 4th attempt. So I'm really excited to get this attempt in, man. I really am, man. This was a good one. Now, where I finished on here and where I finished on Zwift Power, there are 2 different numbers. Sometimes you finish on here and you finish on it's the same, but because some people may be a B and coming down, or somebody may be a C and just not registered with Zwift Power. I don't understand all of that. But what happens with them, you'll see why I came in on this one and I placed on this one. I placed pretty well on this one, but it's all about timing. And you'll understand what I mean when I say timing, because I got to time it right. The thing with the timing on here is when they go red line numbers, if I don't watch it, if I don't take off just before they take off, it's not a thing of me taking off and then because if I take off too early, they're right behind me, they drag and they sling around me. So I have to kind of judge it where I take off almost where they gonna take off at, but just before they can, and just further enough away so they don't slingshot around me. Now this one, I kind of got pulled out of my zone racing this one, so it kind of messed me up, and I did not take off at the 2.4. I think I started to, but I just didn't have it in me to finish that out. So we're gonna get on in this race, and we're gonna see what happened. And we're off. And we take off on this one. I do just enough to get off the line, because if I don't, I'll end up way back there in the pack. So I have to actually come off that line pretty hard. So if we come off the line, I'm coming around this corner right here, and I'm feeling like I got my plan in motion. I got what I'm gonna do. I understand where I'm gonna be at on this race, and I know that if I pull it off just right, it's gonna be a nice race. And so as we come around here, we're doing. I'm thinking to myself as we're riding. I got a couple of people in here, and I really didn't recognize nobody I was racing with. Now, like I said, this race was done at 3:10 Saturday morning. Normally, the guys I see around 4:10 to 5:10 in the morning when I race, most of the European guys, and like I said, I didn't recognize most of the guys in this race. So I give shout out to everybody who raced with me. But like I said, I did it at a different time because I woke up that morning and I was just fresh, and I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and race now. And I took off, and man, as you can see, I'm moving pretty well in this thing. What else can I say? I'm doing pretty good. I'm looking at the idea that maybe you know, I know where the turns and the steep declines are at in this thing, and with here, you can see where we come down, and that's gonna be a right turn, and that right turn is where we do our climb. So my goal is, as you saw on the other race, I had all of this figured out, man. I had a game plan when I came. And I was gonna ride again, like I said, but I had things to do that day. And if I don't ride in the morning normally between 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm not gonna ride no more that day because I have so many other things to do during that day that the only way I get to truly race now is early in the morning. So that's why you see my races are early in the morning, because I'm an early person. I wake up every day between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning normally. Sometimes I wake up a little early, and when I do, I race a little earlier than normal, but for the most part, that's when I wake up. And you can see we coming down this little hill right now. What I know when we come down this hill, that the right here is gonna be a climb. And so this is the only climb you have in this race series. Now, starting on tomorrow, which is Monday, Memorial Day here in the United States, that race has got 2 hills, I think, in it. I know it's 800, it's 260 meters a climb, 800 feet a climb. It's a 12-mile race. And I know with that being said, it's going to be climbing. 800 feet is a lot to climb in a 12-mile race. So I'm thinking to myself, that's going to be a harder race. Now, it depends on where the climb's at. The climbs are more in the middle with a nice steep drop on the end. It may be more friendly to me than most people expect it to be, because if the hills are in the right spot, that means that I can get enough speed up, and y'all have seen that I can get enough speed up to win the race at the end, as long as I stay close. My endurance is getting better enough and good enough for me to get up that hill with whoever I'm racing with and to get down onto the other side. And if I can get down on the other side with the pack, that front pack, it depends on how steep the hill is and how far the steepness is from the end of the race and what power-ups we have, it can make that whole race different for me. So I'm going to look at it. I'm hoping to do it. I'm going to do it 5:10 for sure Monday morning. I don't know when I'm doing it out there. I'm saying that now because I'm going to post this race tonight. And so if anybody watches it when it first come out, y'all will know that that's the race I'm in, which European time, I'm 7 hours behind, 6 to 7 miles behind y'all. So you're talking 11 o'clock or a noontime race for y'all, the 11:10 or 12:10 race. I'm gonna be in one of those. You should be able to look if you look at the race, I've already registered for it, so you'll see my name. If you follow me or with friends, you'll see my name on there. Now, as we come around, we're getting close to finishing up on this first half of the race. And that's the one thing I like about the sauce, y'all. And I know people are complaining about the price hike of Zwift, but these things that the sauce have, I wish Zwift interface was like this. I would like not to have to go away from Zwift, but the things I need as I got better, as I'm getting better and getting more into racing, learning more about racing, you gotta understand, up until October 22, I hadn't rode a bike in 30 years, man. And so now here I am doing this, and as I got out of these and I started winning, now a lot of problems I had when I first started racing, people complained about me winning when I first started. I got a lot of complaints about me winning. And I'm gonna try to clue y'all, if you raced on Zwift, you on Zwift, let me give you an example of what happened. I didn't want to race. I never wanted to race. I never wanted to be a racer on here, never dreamed of it. My wife came to me and she's like, you're very competitive, you race on the hydro all the time, why don't you race on Zwift? And I'm like, I'm a big guy, I'm gonna get demolished. So my wife said, well, make a goal for yourself and then you could race. So this is what happened. For most of y'all who ever been on Zwift, I think 99.9% of y'all first get on Zwift, what the first thing y'all do, y'all race. That didn't happen for me. I did not do my first race until I hit level 20. So I started Zwift in November, you might want to say November, because it was like the last couple of days, October of 22. So I started Zwift righteously in November, and I became level 22 in June. right at July, and that's when I did my first. So I had 7 months of riding. I had been doing all of that without doing one race. I got to level 20. So y'all can understand, most of y'all get y'all points from racing. I did not get 1 point from racing up to level 20. So by the time I started racing, I had already built up, first of all, I did a lot of rowing, but I had already built up an endurance. So a lot of people like, somehow you come on here and all of a sudden you just went. And I was trying to tell people, look, I prepared myself way in advance. The only reason I raced then is because my wife came downstairs and I had just hit level 20. I kid you not, it was like the last couple of days of June of 23. I hit level 20, she come downstairs and I'm cheering for me. I'm level 20. She looks at me and go, you told me at level 20 you were gonna start racing. And the next day I did my first race and I won. I kept winning and I thought it was a fluke. And it was a combination of my weight and my power. So that's what happened. So we're coming around on the second lap. I hate that I got all into that because some people ask me about that a lot. And then I try to tell people, I never touched the race mat. All I did was ride with the robots and I did the training sections. I did all of them. And so that's how I ended up getting all my points to get to level 20. It took me about roughly 6 to 8 months to get it, but I got to level 20 and I never touched one race. If you look on Zwift Power, it shows my first race because literally when I started doing my racing, I saw people that talked about Zwift Power, but I was just on there, but I had never raced. So if you go to Zwift Power and look down through there, my first race was like June 29th of 2023. So I've only been racing right now about, coming up on a year in June. So I've only been racing for a year, but I've been on Zwift for over a year and a half. So that's one thing. Another reason why y'all see me can race with most of the guys is because I did a lot of preparing before I got to this thing. So as we're riding on this thing, we're coming around in the second tournament. Now let me get into the race because I know, hey, it's a lot to talk about, but when you're doing a race 5-6 times, most of the commentary is mostly the same. So I'm trying to make it more interesting with y'all. So I try to put little divots and dabbits in the race so you can see what's going on in my head, how I'm thinking, and what's going on. So now I'm getting into what was going on. Now I'm gonna start making little gestures so I can remember when I power up. Now with this guy right here, he's in front of me. And I decided that I was just gonna try to keep up with him, but not pass him. And so you can see when somebody passes me, I get right behind them and I'm just riding with them. I'm not trying to go past them. I'm not trying to fly past them or shoot all the way out, going all in front of them. What I want to do right here, we got a crew of 4. And I'm trying to get this thing to stay in line. And look at my draft numbers. My draft numbers are doing really well. Now, this one kind of threw me off because I had a arrowhead, and at the end, it gave me a draft. And I was just like, oh no. So now, because let me tell you, this is the 4th race. On the last race, I had all arrowheads. And in the race before that, the last 2 races before that, I had all drafts. So what I was thinking is you get either or. So I got 2 arrowheads. So I'm thinking I'm figuring arrowhead, but when I went on that last boost, I ended up getting a draft, and it changed what I was going to do. Because I was going to use the draft. What I was going to do, the arrowhead, what I was going to do to use the arrowhead is at 2.4. I was going to take off and use the arrowhead. Once you come to 0, when you get to a flat, you hit it, and it let me maintain my speed. But because I didn't have it, at that moment, I had to switch what I was thinking about doing. And y'all remember the first race I did, I said what I was going to do was use the draft on the last 450 meters and then take off. So that's what I had to change my whole idea of what was going on. Now, what I did try to do without hurting myself is, because you see I had saved up I was doing it just right to save up for it, but I knew I couldn't use it here. At my weight balance, I had got myself ready to push myself, but since I couldn't, I kind of just said, well, I'm gonna save the draft because I know what'll happen is they'll get right behind me and slingshot around me. So I was thinking to myself, okay, cool. What I'm gonna do is once we go around this corner, I'm gonna hit my power. And with the power coming in at 400 meters, I know the draft will hold on all the way. I'm just gonna try to ride with them until we get that 400 meter spot. And hopefully I can sling a shot around somebody. I'm hoping that once we make that turn, nobody shoots around me too early. Because like I said, if I take off too early, all I do is drag them along. But if I take off too late, they get in front of me too far. Because there's not that much room left, even though my power starts to kick in, if they got any significant distance in front of me and we don't have that far to go, it really calls. So right here, as we get close to it, you see we get ready to turn, and at that very moment right here, I'm getting ready to go, and bang.
Wait.
So I'm putting in the power, and I'm trying to catch up, man. I really am, man. I'm not even lying. I'm trying to catch him, but man, he hit it at the right time, man. Oh, I got up there. I did come in, I want to say I did come in second on Zwift Power, and I came in second on Zwift Power, and I came in fourth on Zwift. So I like the Zwift Power because they count more towards me. I want to say thank y'all to everybody who watches my videos. Thank y'all for subscribing. Also, man, I'm here in America, so we got Memorial Day today, tomorrow. I'm putting this video out Sunday night. I want to give a thanks to all our veterans here and all over the world, man. I want to thank all of y'all because no matter what you feel, right, left, middle, I don't care what you are, these folks fought so we can have the right to do and cheer and say what we want. We can't have this without them. So my father and my stepfather were both veterans, so I love them, and I want to say thank you to all the veterans that I have cousins and aunties and uncles. Hey, to all the veterans out there, man, have a great day, man. To all the ones we lost, man, say that you love, send up a prayer, man, to them, man. And with that being said, I'm gone. Ride on.